Now that we know the traditional attendance-taking methods will not accurately measure student engagement in the asynchronous learning model, it becomes important for us to develop a system that will accurately measure and record student learning through the completion of lessons. In Part 3 of our training, we will examine important data entry questions and introduce the remaining steps of the student engagement system. It is important in education that all teachers, counselors, coaches, and administrators monitor a student's academic progress. The University Interscholastic League, or UIL, prohibits students from competing unless they are making sufficient academic gains. Our parents and community entrust their children with us with the confidence that we will help them learn and grow. It is imperative that we monitor and report on each student's individual progress. It is with this in mind that Aldine has set the expectation that all teachers will monitor the progress of all students in completing their daily lessons. To help facilitate the data recording process, the district has designed and developed a template sheet that is to be used by teachers to record lesson completion data. Each teacher is provided their own individual data sheet, which can be found in the department's workbook. Department workbooks are found in the school's shared NG data folder. Part 4 of this training will focus on this lesson completion data collection instrument. Under the traditional attendance-taking model, teachers were required to take attendance every period of every day. However, with the asynchronous learning model, the student is permitted to choose when they do their lessons. As a result, the traditional attendance-taking model of taking attendance every period of every day no longer works. In the asynchronous model, we take attendance by counting completed lessons. As the district has set the requirement of 5 lessons per week, to properly measure student engagement, we must count completed lessons each week. Whether English, music, mathematics, athletics, social studies, art, or any other discipline, it is the responsibility of all courses to monitor and measure student engagement. With the exception of local credit-only courses, all students in all classes must have their lesson completion counts recorded on the data collection instrument. In review, a student is said to have completed their lesson when they have completed all of the tasks and activities contained within a lessons folder. The completed lesson counting process is simplified and expedited by applying completion rules to the activities and tasks within the lesson folder. Completion rules will be explained in detail in Part 4 of this training. After a student has completed all of a lesson's tasks and activities, a green check mark will appear on the folder signifying that the lesson is complete. At this point, the teacher counts the number of completed folders as completed lessons and records this number to the data collection sheet. When counting, teachers should only consider those lessons that are in the current week. Lesson counts are not cumulative. Teachers should not return to the beginning of school and recount each lesson each week looking for unfinished lessons. The NG recovery process on how to complete unfinished lessons and record the lesson counts will be covered in Part 6 of this training. By following the district's folder structure exemplar presented in Training 1, where we place all the lessons for a week in one folder, we can significantly streamline the data entry process. Having added completion rules to all of the lesson folders, you will observe a student progress button has been added at the top in the resource bar. Clicking the Student Progress button will reveal a roster of all students currently enrolled in this section of the course. This Student Progress roster contains the completed status for each student for the current week. In this example, we can see that the first student has a green check mark, which indicates that the student has completed all 5 lessons. In this current view of the Student Progress roster, we see there are 3 students that have completed all of their lessons. When we look at Student 3, we can see that they have completed approximately 80% of their lessons. In a week that has 5 lessons, each lesson is worth 20%. Having completed 80% of the lessons, we know that this student has completed 4 of the 5 lessons. Looking at the 5th student, we can see they have done no work at all, 0 engagement. They have completed 0 lessons. The final student in this Student Progress Monitor view has completed approximately 40% of the lessons. With each lesson being 20%, we can conclude that this student has completed 2 of 5 lessons. In a week that only has 4 lessons, each lesson would be worth 25%. In this week, if a student had completed 75% of their work, they would have completed 3 of 4 lessons. In the same week, a student that showed 25% progress would have completed 1 of 4 lessons. In a week that only has 3 lessons, each lesson would equate to 33%. A student with 66% progress would have completed 2 of 3 lessons. Utilizing student progress rosters makes the process of recording lesson counts quick and easy. The purpose of student engagement is to promote student success. We also know that student success does not come from doing just the assignments. Student success comes from doing all the hard work in the daily lessons. By being engaged, participating in activities, and completing the daily lessons, the student is prepared for their assignments. By monitoring and recording weekly lesson completion counts, we create the data necessary to ensure equity, provide support, and implement interventions. Student engagement is the engine that drives student success and leads to academic achievement. This concludes Part 3 of the Aldine Student Engagement System.